Hello, everyone, and welcome to this weekly updates video. I'm doing this solo. Sebastian completely forgot about the weekly updates time, so he's walking his dog probably now. Um, but that doesn't matter, guys. We're still gonna make it epic. So last week, for those that didn't catch up, we were doing a lot in Claude Code. We're building our own custom dashboard and stuff like that. I want to give a brief update on what we've been doing, and then also like other stuff as well. I'm going to get into Claude. I'm going to get into the strategy right now in terms of our business and also what you guys should look at when building your own agents, building your own AI solutions, and the best way to go about it. So, first of all, the software, like it stands right now, and kind of the things we're working on in the back end. So, let me just kind of refresh. So, we have this pretty sick login screen that we've built. Um, Still going to make some minor changes, maybe change the logo. We've got some pixels coming out on the side, which is pretty cool. You got your password to log in. Boom. You sign in, and then you have your dashboard. So what we're trying to make now is we are going to basically have this dashboard reflect all of your most important metrics. So we have, obviously, we've got kind of like an ads tracker that we're working on right now, and we need to fix this. That's going to reflect here. We have, we're going to have like a new deals kind of section. So this is where you're going to have clients and stuff like that. That's going to be reflected. And then we're going to have a socials channel where you're going to put in how many followers you have on Instagram, school, members, Instagram subscribers, and YouTube. Those are the main platforms. And that's going to reflect here. And you're going to see a positive trend with your personal brand growth over the different, or actually just like a socials growth over the different metrics, and you can kind of select which ones you want to show, which ones you do, which is kind of cool. So that's still being worked on. Okay. At some point, we're going to have like a full training for you guys completely for free on on how you can recreate this for your own self, right? We also have like a lead tracker. You can like add a lead. Let me just do like add lead. You can drag them through here. Um, all sorts of cool stuff. You can kind of save the changes, you can delete them, and so forth. You can add your own profile photo. Everything is kind of worked on. The main thing is we want to make it very, very simple and very easy. So what does that mean? That means allowing this to be the one-stop shop for you to collect all your data. So you don't have to go to Excel, you don't have to go to anywhere else. You just put in the data here of when you're getting clients, what your ad spend is, all of that. And then it's going to reflect in the metrics and it's going to give you correlations. And it's also going to we're also going to do this where if there is some sort of metric or something that needs to be improved, that's going to show kind of like a red sign. So if let's say your cost per lead is very high, it's going to be kind of red. So it's going to say like, and then it's going to have some sort of text here that's going to say how to improve that metric. Okay. So very, very cool stuff. But without further ado, that's kind of the Claude. I'm going to get into a little bit of a freestyle on my whiteboard here. And I'm going to kind of break that down for you guys. Also, if you're watching this, I want you to go in the description of this video and join my school because I want to really, I want to make this very, very interactive. This kind of weekly update, so we can, um, yeah, kind of make sure that you guys are getting your questions answered. So I wanted to quickly get into Claude and agents and that type of thing on how this is actually how you're going to be. Oops. Okay, I got a fix. Okay, let's get into it. So, the main thing is how are all of these AI bots or these kind of Claude things, how are they being most likely people are going to use them for like $20 a month subscriptions, right? Um, and don't get me wrong, there's going to be some great like softwares out there, but what's going to happen with these types of companies is because of AI, you can actually recreate them very, very quickly. So let's say you spend 6 months developing a really cool agent or really cool Claude software, you bring it to the market publicly, people can buy it for $20 a month, and then they're just going to recreate it in a week, and then you've got a ton of competition with tons of different softwares out there. So that's not what you want to do, right? You don't want to sell your kind of AI solutions directly, what you want to do is you still want to sell a one-to-one slash or done for you solution, but you want to mask it you want to sell that for thousands of dollars, right? You want to sell that for a lot of cash. And then the way you deliver at scale for these types of clients is using the Claude, using the agents. That's how you're going to make a lot of money, not by selling $20 a month subscriptions, okay? I just want to get that out the way. Another thing I wanted to get into is just what my strategy is, right? What is the strategy to get to 100K a month? Okay. So what is the strategy to get to 100K a month in profit? And this is how I see it very, very simply. Okay. So you're going to use paid ads for predictability, but it's not going to be kind of it's going to be like a booster. It's not going to be the end all be all, but you're going to have paid ads. Paid ads for predictability. Okay. And you're going to run ads to get followers and also to get school group members. That's at least what I'm doing. School group members. And that's kind of the fuel, right? That's like getting those predictable things. And then you're going to do a little bit of retargeting, right? You're going to do retargeting from the landing page visitors, landing page visits. And you're going to do retargeting of your Instagram profile, IG engagers, oops, and then the school about page visitors, okay? School about page visits. And that's going to be your warm stack, okay? Landing page, so this is basically my application page to book a call. It's kind of like a VSL page. That's going to be the visitors, the Instagram engagers, and then the school about page visits around for the last 180 days, right? 180 days. Maybe for the Instagram engagers, you can do 365, but that's going to be your warm stack to do a bit of retargeting, right? So essentially, you got two types of paid ads. You got to cold to get followers and school group members. I'm still split testing which one is more effective. I do really like running ads directly to school because people have immediate access to a lot of long form content. And this is, I'll get into in a second, that's the great thing about school because it's a closed ecosystem, right? When you run ads to get followers, sure, you got to follow, but there's so much distraction, so much other stuff on Instagram that for them to go through. They're not in a closed, kind of focused environment for them to educate and consume. But through school, it's just your page. It's just your thing, and they can just go through it and just consume your stuff. So that's why I also like this. Cool. And then what do we do next? In terms of organic, right? Organic, we're going to post 5 to 10x per day. Yes, I know that's a lot. And those are all going to be pretty much raw. Okay? Raw videos, and the way that Instagram has changed its algorithm now is if someone likes your post, engage with your post, they're going to get fed more of your stuff. In the past, they would get a little bit of that, but they would still get a variety of other people that they follow to kind of have variety in their feed. But now, if you're only engaging with one person, they're just going to feed you that stuff constantly. So that's why you want to post as much as you possibly can. And here, actually, volume is key, right? Because the more you post, the more minutes they can consume per day, which means the faster they get to the 7-11-4 rule. And if you know what that is, that means they have to consume 7 hours of content over 11 touch points over 4 different locations. Okay? And with my strategy, this is what they can do, right? They can consume 7 hours of content through organic Instagram, right? If I'm posting roughly 10 minutes a day of content organically with short form, that can really easily rack up if you're posting 10 times a day, right? Over a week, they consumed already an hour. Over 7 weeks, they're going to be a new client, right? Obviously, if they watch long form content even faster, 11 touch points, right? 11 different places where they consume the content. Sorry, 11 different touch points simply means, okay, stories, Instagram, YouTube, all those different places, they need 11 of them, a minimum. 4 locations, that's easy. We've got Instagram, we have email, we have YouTube, and we have school. Those are the 4 different locations. Technically, I've got 5 because I also collect people's WhatsApp/phone number in my school group, and sometimes I contact them there. So I technically got 5 locations, but that's what you want to do. Organic 5 times a day. In terms of YouTube, this is kind of it depends. I'm probably going to do 3 to 4 times a week. Um, 3 to 4 times a week. This will be counted as a YouTube video. I know it's on my behind the scenes channel, but that's kind of the strategy. And that's what I'm going to do to get to 100K a month, right? In terms of delivery, I'm just going to have a group offer and a one-to-one offer, right? But that's going to be the goal. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Now, the reason, like over the past month, I've put a lot more emphasis in school because I realized everyone is talking about, oh, you have to build an ecosystem, right? Everyone's like, oh my God, building an ecosystem. You have to build an ecosystem. That's what you want to do, ecosystem. What does an ecosystem mean, right? An ecosystem means this. It means they can do touch points on all these different platforms. It's very fluid. There's no structure, and they can get lost, right? If they're in this kind of craziness, let's say this is Instagram, right? Their Instagram feed, Instagram. They can check other people's stories. They can get DMs from other people. They can watch your stuff and right after watch another person. You're almost inviting them to see more competition, right? If you're setting someone on Instagram only, there's so much competition on the app. They will see your stuff and then a minute later they'll see a competitor and then another competitor. And that's what an open ecosystem is. With YouTube, a bit less so. Yes, there's obviously tons of YouTube videos, but people are more educated and sit down um, and actually consume the content, right? And then so YouTube is a little bit less competition, right? You can't get DM'd, people are more focused, they're actually consuming. So YouTube is a little bit better. Um, and then you have email, which is absolutely amazing. The only problem is email is dying as a platform. People are bored, they've got low attention spans. So people will very quickly get off email and just because the email has a connotation with work, with taxes, with all these bad things, and people don't really spend a lot of time there. They want to kind of get done with their emails as quickly as possible. And then you got school, right? Which is kind of awesome because you can put long form content in there. You can create a library of content and they can just sit there and consume in your classroom, which is amazing. They can get a DM. There's not much competition. There is an option to get their WhatsApp information in the questions, which you can again do more direct content. WhatsApp and messages is not seen as a work environment. It's seen as a fun environment because that's where they message their friends and all that good stuff. So school is kind of this golden thing where the company is putting a lot of money behind advertising the platform. And also, it's a great way to warm up your audience because it's a closed ecosystem, right? There's not tons of distractions, right? When people get on the school platform, they just go boom, and then they're in your stuff. Yeah, maybe they go to a few other communities, but even then, it's not a lot of distractions, not a lot of competition. So that's why school is a closed ecosystem for me to get amazing leads. And another thing is, school has this thing, I can even show you. It's called I don't know if I should expose. Nah, anyone can look at this, so it's fine. Um, there's this thing called School Network, right? So school has a way of, if you've got a free school, there's gonna have they will recommend other school communities if it fits their exact profile. So my school group is getting free exposure from the platform, if other people are interested in business and that type of thing. So it's really, really cool actually. Um, so yeah, that's basically the strategy, and that's what I want you guys to follow is use school as a place to nurture and build a lot of connection. And in school, I use the freemium model. Okay, so freemium means the school group is free, right? And then there's an option for people to upgrade. Okay, right now I don't have a middle kind of tier. Eventually, I might have like a $300 a month group coaching program, something like that. And then I'll have obviously my high tier program, which is actually 5K right now, 5K for 6 months. Um, but that's kind of the structure. But right now I don't even have this. I just have my one-to-one because I want to get great results for them. But that's what I would say is super valuable is use school to nurture. Um, and it's a great way to further give value in that type of model. So that's it, guys. Like that's seriously it. I'm just gonna make this video kind of shorter because there's nothing else to really say. I'll quickly get into the metrics of my 5 times a day posting. So, let me just go back to where I was posting once a day. Um, so this is kind of once a day, right? So 900 views, 700 views, 2,000 views, 800, 1,800, 400. And then here, this is when I'm trying the new stuff. So here I'm getting, decent amount of views, stuff like that, right? Um, Here is the time where I'm posting 5 times a day. I think I posted 6 times a day. 1,300, 900, 2,300, 800, boom. So I'm getting the same amount of views, but I'm just posting 6 times. Very simple content. So if I look on yesterday, let me see. I need to move this 23 hours ago. Um, let's just say yesterday, which is here. Okay, so I have, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? I post 5 times, 700, like that's like, let's say 3,600, 4,000. I've got like 5,500 views, something like that, yesterday only. And that's just from posting more, you know? Very, very simple. And sometimes it's the same people engaging with every single video because they're getting fed more of my content. The best videos I'm going to put as retargeting and boost. Okay. Now I've found a simple ad that is kind of working very well for me, and that's what I'm using. And then I link people to my school where I can collect more information from them and nurture them deeper. In the past, I had a YouTube link here, but YouTube is such an open ecosystem. They can watch your video and then get distracted and watch Mr. Beast right after me. I don't want that. I want them to stay in my world for as long as possible. So that's why I've got a closed ecosystem and keep them in here. Okay. That's just what I've seen has worked the best. So that's the new game plan, guys. That's how it is. And in the school group, I'm continuously upgrading it and updating it with more information. So that's it, guys. I don't want to make this video much longer than it needs to be. But that's the game plan. Okay? Follow along. I will give you some more insight. If you want to get one-to-one help with me, you can click the link in the description. You can join my school, or if you're watching this from school, then you can press the one-to-one application form. Okay? You'll find it. Okay? See you guys in the next weekly updates.